Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? This is Tupo by NegativeAE, and welcome back to another episode of this. Last we left off, I feel like this is the last chapter, just because we're reaching a climax for some things going on. Like I feel like all the stuff is happening now, and they just did kind of like a thing, and I feel like it can wrap up pretty soon. Who knows? It's the day after the Tanagashi festival. Uishi shows up at the school. Uishi shows up at the school on this day pretty often. Ironically, he always asks for the key person in that world. He asks for Keiichi in a world where he gets sick. He asks for Rena in a world where she gets sick. In this world, he asks for me. Tomitaki die? Yes. The way he died was very unusual. I think he was hallucinating on drugs or something. He scratched at his own throat until he died. I couldn't stop it. There's nothing I can do now. I knew this was going to happen. I'm sure Takano is dead too. What about Takano? I have bad news about her too. She was found burned to death in the mountains of Gifu. Based on the condition of the body, she was choked first, then her body was burned. Either way, this is a tragic story. I know what you're thinking. You think I know something about their case. Oh no. I only have one question. Who would talk about such a scary plan in a crowd of festival? You think I'm part of this murder? I wanted to suspect you, but I don't. If you were part of it, you wouldn't be giving me any hints like you did. I'm sure that you're not involved with the people who killed them. Glad you're not suspicious of me. He throws a 10 yen coin into the offering box and shakes the bell. Please, let us solve the mystery of Hinamizawa this year. Are you trying to get me involved in your investigation? I was just talking to Oyashiro-sama. Uishi knows that people call me the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. I guess that was a joke. I want the curse to end too. That means we both want the same thing. I made a prediction about where you might find Tomitaki's body. Didn't you have a police cruiser patrolling there? Listen, I listened to your prediction and placed a cruiser there. That place where the concrete and the gravels meet. That place is called the border of the village. That area is very dark. It always seemed like something bad could happen over there. So did you find Tomitaki's body? We found him dead by the rice fields near Okinomiya. That's not where his body is usually found. If he was fated to hallucinate and die, he would die in exactly the same spot whether the cruiser was there or not. Just because the cruiser was placed there, Tomitaki's body was found in a totally different spot. That tells me that the existence of the police cruiser interrupted the fate. Anyway, something else I found very interesting. I told the officers in the police cruiser to check every vehicle that passed by. Turns out that Takano's car headed toward Okinomiya after the festival's over. Takano lives in Okinomiya. It's not strange for her to head back home after the festival. However, she was the only one inside the car. Tomitaki was not with her. Tomitaki always comes to Hinamizawa by his bicycle, and she could have loaded his bike in the trunk and given him a ride. But he was not with her. However, his body was found among the rice fields near Okinomiya, past the police cruiser in Hinamizawa. So, there's no way he could have gone through the dark woods to avoid the police cruiser. He somehow took the road without being noticed by the police. Rude-san, can you tell me about the relationship between Tomitaki and Takano? They're lovers. That's all I know. Can't believe that Takano would drive back alone or home alone without her boyfriend in the dark. She had Tomitaki inside her trunk and she tried to leave the body in the woods. Because there was a cruiser there, she had no choice but to pass the area and dump him along the road. Both Tomitaki and Takano were sent here from Tokyo. I have no idea what their real identities are. I can't say that Takano has no reason to kill Tomitaki. However, I never thought about that possibility in my life. Takano killing Tomitaki? But why? I can't think of any reason. I have no idea why she would do that. Can't imagine Takano killing him. Sounds more realistic if Tomitaki strangled her to death because of his passionate feelings towards her. I always thought they didn't suit each other. I don't mean anything negative towards Tomitaki-kun, but I thought Takano-san was way too smart for him. Have you heard any rumors she was trying to use him or anything? No. But I can ask people. I'll let you know if I find out something. Thank you very much. I'm glad that the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama is on my side. But even the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama couldn't solve this mystery for over 100 years. But you said Takano was killed too. How can she be the suspect? If you hadn't leaked me any information, your prophecy, I'm sure I would have just believed that both Takano and Tomitaki were victims of the fifth curse of Oyashiro-sama. However, the situation is different. I feel like this is a case where someone tried to make the fifth curse of Oyashiro-sama happen. You mean to say that Takano is the suspect? I understand what he's trying to say. They're not both victims. He wants to say that the suspect is also pretending to be a victim. I can't believe this. I can't think of any reason why Takano would do something like this. I feel that way because I know her better than Oishi does. But in that case, how can he explain that Takano's body was found? I'm sure the Gifu Police Department identified the body. Dental records are the best way to identify a charred body. Although according to my forensics guy, they're still not 100% sure. Moreover, there's a contradiction with the estimated time of death. It just didn't make sense. What do you mean? Well, the test results showed that she was dead before the night of the festival. They investigated thoroughly, but at the time of testing, they had already had information about Takano. They knew that Takano was at the festival that night, and realized that the test result didn't match, so they just dumped the test result and decided to take the dental records alone. These things do happen every once in a while. However, if Takano is really the suspect, this body might belong to someone else. Is it possible to do that? When the body is charred, dental records are the only way to identify it. This almost sounds like a mystery novel, but what if someone faked Takano Mio's dental record? That's possible, isn't it? Anyway, the Gifu Police Department has made up their mind that the body is Takano's. Within the police department, we often have issues with false test results. That's how most false charges are made. I feel like this is another case like that. So you think Takano is alive? Since last night, both Takano Mio and her vehicle have been missing. That body found in Gifu is not Takano. This is going to be very interesting. I like that sound because it makes me like super engaged with whatever's going on. Now that the crickets, the Higurashi are back, I don't know. I'm just kind of like, whatever. But as soon as that, like, I'm like instant pay attention mode. EDA knew about the death of Tomitaki and Takano. It seems like both the clinic and the office in Tokyo are in a panic. It's ironic how they make a big fuss about their own people, but they don't care about other people's lives when it gets to the research. I see Takano's worker, Okanogi, in the room. Okanogi is the leader of the Mountain Hounds. I came here to make sure that this guy is still willing to protect me. Based on my past experience, I know that they lose interest in protecting me after Takano dies. Okanogi, Takano is dead, but am I still safe? Don't worry, Rika-san. We're going to continue your protection. You don't have to call the police. Is that what he means by protection? I guess they were listening to my conversation with Oishi. I heard from Oishi, is it true that Takano is actually not dead? It can't be true. The Gifu Police Department made it official. That detective Oishi is retiring this year. Sometimes he makes up stories because he's desperate about solving the curse of Oyashiro-sama. You shouldn't pay attention to what that guy tells you. I think he's right. This year is the last chance for Oishi. Because he's desperate, he has a habit of listening to every rumor he hears. What's your opinion about this case, Okanogi? I can't say anything just yet because they're still investigating. Knowing the relationship of those two, I think it's clear that this is done by someone within the organization. I look at Irie as I hear him talk. It seems like people are suspicious that he killed them. Irie is trying desperately to prove his innocence. He hangs up the phone. Irie is upset that he's being suspected after working so hard for the organization. Oh, Rika-chan. I'm sorry for making you wait. Seems like you're in big trouble. Just as you heard. I'm sure that there's a big conspiracy behind their death. People in Tokyo think I'm the one who's pulling the strings. This is so upsetting. I rarely see him emotional like this. He feels like his effort is being repaid with a horrible injustice. However, it's a fact that EDA was rejecting the budget cut and downsizing of the research. Tokyo is thinking that it could be the motive to kill them. Everyone in Tokyo is so suspicious. I understand how scared you are. People who attacked Takano and Tomitaki-san could be after you too. The people in Tokyo are concerned about it too. We got an order to tighten up your security. Don't worry. Or don't worry. I'm relieved to hear that. This is the first time the Mountain Hounds tightened up security for me. They often ignored me after the deaths of Tomitaki and Takano because they became busy watching EDA. Even though they are dead, I'm still in a pretty fortunate situation. So you think. So, you have any idea who killed them? People in Tokyo are investigating now. Based on the situation, it is clear that this is done by someone within the organization. I guess they're suspecting me. You were the only one that could kill Tomitaki like that. That's not true. The people in Tokyo are talking about the possible use. I bet people in Tokyo are talking about the possible use of H173. But that drug was destroyed when the research was cancelled. It's impossible. However, they have no choice but to suspect you in this case. Besides, Mr. Tomitaki took the vaccine before he came here, but he still got infected. I think this is an extremely unlikely coincidence. It's just impossible. EDA is usually a very calm person, but once the people in Tokyo start suspecting him, he often loses his mind. Do you think Takano may be the suspect? She's someone within the organization. Takano-san? No way. However, I think EDA would explain everything if that's the case. But I don't know how to persuade him of that possibility. People want to know the motive. It's not about who did it, but it's about why they did it. It may not be that important to know. After all, you'll never know that motive unless the suspect talks. It's a waste of time for us to guess about the motives. It's wrong for EDA to assume that Takano is not the suspect just because he doesn't know what her motive is. Rika-san, you can't say something like that without proof. She was so nice to you. How can you be suspicious of her? Okanogi looks at me with a meaningful look, as if I'm disrespecting his boss. It's true that Takano is being very nice to me. It might be disrespectful of me to suspect her. However, I still can't trust her all the way yet. Perhaps I have a bad habit, just like Oishi. Am I believing every crazy theory I hear because I'm desperate to get out of this fate? Anyway, we know something bad is going on around us. We need to be careful. Don't worry. We've received an order to tighten up your security, too. Irie smiles wryly. He knows that their protection is actually the same as stalking. The question should be like, who's your leader now? Who are you receiving orders from? You received an order to tighten up security by who? It should be the question. That should be the next word out of Rika's mouth. Hey, Okanogi, who's giving you orders? I thought Takano was your leader, and she's dead. Shouldn't it be you that is giving the orders? You receiving orders is a little bit weird. Rika-san, make sure you don't give up too much information to the police. I think you understand, but you could create a problem if you talked about our top secret. They're trying to tell me that they would have to kill anyone I talk to. This is not the first time they warned me about this. But what if Takano really is a suspect? That means Okanogi is also dirty. It makes sense that he doesn't want me to think that Takano is the suspect. That's really the case. This is horrible. Takano would be my enemy, as well as the Mountain Hounds. In other words, the whole clinic is the lion's den. EDA is just a researcher in this organization, so he probably wouldn't know what's really going on. The more I think, the more confused I get. Why would Takano do something like this? I thought I'd just convince myself that the motive shouldn't be in question, but I can't stop thinking about it. Is Takano really the suspect? Am I going crazy like Oishi because I badly want to solve this mystery? Perhaps the Mountain Hounds are like wolves watching the sheep. I've lived for over 100 years. I never found out who kills me, and I stayed close with the EDA institution so they'd protect me. What if that was a big mistake? Well, I'm sure that EDA had no bad intentions. I saw how genuine he is in many lives. I can trust him. However, he's not really reliable. Okanogi looks at me. He smiles and tells me not to worry, but I see an evil intention in his eyes. Perhaps I have the Hinamizawa syndrome and this is a hallucination. Can't understand anything. I don't know who my enemies are. I have to stop thinking about this. I have to trust who I know I can trust for sure. There are a few people I can trust for sure. EDA, Oishi, and my friends. If Okanogi is on Takano's side, he will be watching very closely. If they realize that I'm suspicious of Takano, who knows what they'll do to me. When this world started, I thought I had no time left. But that's not true. The past 2 weeks were long and deep. I'm sure I only have a few more days left until the day of my death. What can I do? How can I change this? Am I supposed to take Hanyu's advice and give up this time? Yes. He's been missing since the night of Watanagashi. Could it be the curse of Oyashiro-sama? It's freaky that this has happened 5 years in a row now. Hinamizawa is a small village. Rumors spread fast, but she's Sonozaki Mion. She would have found out about this yesterday even if the police were trying to hide it. My friends are all talking about the mysterious death of Tomitaki and the disappearance of Takano. I think Hinamizawa is a superstitious place. No matter what happens, they always conclude that everything is the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I don't care about the incidents of the past. All I'm interested in is the current incident. I think that's where you're fucking failing. But I understand. It seems like all the pieces, like you can gather all the pieces from this incident. I feel like the Mountain Hounds are heavily involved, and we need to think about what Satoshi's doing. All I'm interested in is the current incident. I'm sure that the suspect of this case will try and kill me too. 2 days have passed since Watanagashi. Today is Tuesday, June 21st, the 58th year of the Showa era. At the earliest, I'll get killed on the night of the 22nd. That's tomorrow night. The day of my death is always different. I always end up getting killed, but the day when it happens varies. I guess the suspect has his own reason for that. I'm sure about one thing. Based on my experience, I'll be alive for sure until tomorrow night. After tomorrow night, I have to live with the fear of getting murdered at any moment. But that's no reason for me to be afraid. When I wake up, I'll be in a brand new world again. I can never remember how I was killed. That's why I'm afraid of the killing itself. I'm frustrated that my life is repeating the same things like a broken record. But I feel angry. All of my classmates are expecting their peaceful days are going to continue, but not me. I feel angry and sad. I don't want to die. It's tomorrow night. Are you ready, Rika? No way. What makes you think that I am? Hanyu is trying to tell me that I might get killed tomorrow night. I feel like Hanyu already knows that I'm going to get killed tomorrow for sure. You worked so hard. This life's Watanagashi was the best festival I've ever had. I'm sure you felt that way too. It was fun. It was really fun. Satoko had band-aids all over her face, but everyone was together and we had fun. I want this world to continue forever. I can't accept that. The world is going to end tomorrow at the earliest, and within 1 to 2 weeks at the latest. I'm sure your next life will be fun too. This world is going to end now? This is such a happy world, but it's going to be over? All of my friends are together. Keiichi is not feeling isolated, and Rena's family is happy too. Mion and Shion are getting along, as well as Shion and Satoko. The issue of Satoko's uncle is solved, and she's no longer treated harshly by the village. This is the best world ever. But this world is going to end. Rika, you think you're a normal human, but we're actually very special. Every child wants the party to continue forever, but the party always ends. That's why they wish for the fun time to continue forever. But they never cling on to a party that ended. Once they sleep, another day will come for them. Something happy and fun will happen again. No one disappears like Cinderella once the party is over. What a way for you to describe my view on life. You're just the same as those children who are crying because they don't want to leave the party. Why would you cry and be so sad? The party is coming again soon. You still hate to go through another death, but it's only like sleeping for a while, isn't it? Don't you want to see what's there beyond the June of 58th year of Showa? I'd be lying if I said I didn't. However, I'm more concerned about you being consumed by that thought and getting hurt because of it. You just don't understand. Without you, I'd have to spend a long time without anyone to talk to. And I just have to stare at the festival without being a part of it. No one would see me. No one could hear me or talk to me either. Do you have any idea how sad and lonely that is? But I finally found you. I can't survive without you. But I can't just die like you either. I would have to live alone until the end of time. I would have to be alone until someone like you shows up again. I don't want that. I can't stand that. Oh, dude. Rika, please take back that sad promise you made. I don't want you to give up if this world doesn't work out for you. Honey, I'm sorry. I have to think about it for a while. I want to do what I can do until the end. I can decide that when my end is here. If I think there's still some hope, I can go on with this life. But if I feel desperate about the situation, I can just give up. It might not be a bad thing to repeat the June of the 58th year of Showa over and over again. Perhaps I might be blessed with another fortunate life someday. Hanyu smiles in satisfaction when she hears what I said. She thinks that my feelings are starting to tilt towards the way she wants. What's up, Rena? Are you trying to convince Rika-chan to come home with you? Hey, Keiichi-kun. Don't you think Rika-chan seems to be feeling down? I don't know. She might still be tired from the dancing ceremony of the festival. Rika-chan is sitting all by herself wearing a sad expression. I said she might still be tired from the festival, but that's not how she looks. She should be excited since Satoko is free now. She's been acting weird since yesterday. Wonder if something's going on. Satoko's case is all settled now. There shouldn't be anything that's troubling her anymore. We thought Satoko and Rika might not be able to live together if they found a new guardian for Satoko. That problem is almost solved. Either way, the Sonozaki family and the Kimiyoshi family would become her guardian. Rika-chan's guardian is also Kimiyoshi's-san. If the Sonozaki family got the custody, the Satoko would officially become Shion's little sister. Anyway, I have no idea why Rika-chan is acting so upset. I think we should ask her what's going on. I don't want her to think that we're insensitive. But I guess you can ask her, I guess. So you're saying that it's okay for me to be insensitive? Rena smiles and sticks her tongue out at me. I walk up to her and talk to Rika-chan. Perhaps something is still troubling Satoko and we just don't know about it. If that's the case, we need to help her. You don't look so good. Anything going on? Oh, Keiichi. She was daydreaming and it took her a while to realize that I was talking to her. Do I look upset or something? Kind of. Something the matter? Takes her a while to answer. The long silence means yes. Keiichi, there's a poem that I want you to listen to. Don't ask me who wrote that poem. I just want you to know what you think about it after you hear it. Alright, let me hear. She closes her eyes and recites a short poem. It goes like this. Everyone has a right to be happy, yet it's so hard to acquire. Everyone has a right to be happy, yet it's so hard to promise. I have a right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. Pretty difficult poem. Did you write that one? Oh, I'm not supposed to ask that, huh? No, you're not. What did you think after hearing the poem? Everyone has a right to be happy, yet it's so hard to acquire. I understand that. Everyone does have a right to be happy, but that doesn't mean everyone can acquire the happiness. Everyone has a right to be happy, yet it's so hard to promise. This is kind of difficult to understand, but I guess the promise of happiness is one of the faces of acquiring happiness. Everyone has a right to work hard for their happiness, but it's not that easy to be happy. I have a right to be happy, yet it's so hard to compromise. I guess she's trying to talk about compromising the happiness? There's no limit to the desire of happiness. You can never stop wanting something. That's why people need to make a compromise on their happiness. At least, that's how I understand it. It sounds positive if she's trying to say that we should be satisfied with what we have. But there's also a negative image to those words. I think this poem is reflecting the writer's emotion. I think so too. So what did you think? You won't admit, but I'm sure Rika-chan is the one who made this poem and it's reflecting how she's feeling right now. I'm not that smart, but I can still understand that. I thought it was a sad poem. Sad? I understand the first two lines. Everyone has a right to be happy, but not everyone can be happy that easily. I think those lines are describing the hard part of our lives. But the last line was different. Making compromises is the same as giving up. The writer of the poem is giving up on trying to be happy and is trying to accept the reality. Trying to accept the reality? She's not happy about it either. Everyone can become happy with effort, but she thinks she can't. The poem reflects her hopelessness. It's so sad. Then Keiichi, what do you think she should do? She shouldn't give up. She shouldn't give up? The writer of this poem already knows how she can be happy. It's something that she deserves. She's been thinking about how to become happy all this time. If she really wants to be happy, she shouldn't give up. Remember, we overcame a desperate situation in only a few days. If we all work together, we can make a miracle happen. You saw it with your own eyes, didn't you? What's troubling you? Talk to me. Something I want to talk to all of you about. But if I do that, you won't be able to stay in this village anymore. My happiness is to see what's beyond the 58th year of Showa together with you guys. It doesn't mean anything if I live beyond this June without you. Won't be able to stay in Hinamizawa anymore. Why is that? They will kill you if they find out I talk to you. That's why I can't talk. What do you mean they'll kill us? Are you being threatened by someone? The word kill is not something we should use casually. I'm shocked to hear it coming out of her mouth. That's why I can't help but raising my voice. I don't know who's the enemy and who's not. The only thing I know for sure is that someone is going to kill me. Wait, Rika-chan. Talk to me. What the hell is going on? Is Teppei threatening her? No, that is impossible. The police arrested her, and the Sonozaki family told him not to come back to the village. There's no way he could contact Rika-chan to threaten her. And even if somehow that was the case, Rika-chan could talk to Mion and everything would be taken care of. But based on her expression, it seems like this is way deeper than that. I'm sorry. If I talk to you, you'll be dragged into this. If I lose you, I'll have no reason to survive. I just can't talk to you about this. I'm not going to compromise my happiness. I don't understand what you're trying to say, but you sound just like Satoko a few days ago. Like Satoko? Yeah. You think it's better to be patient, but you forgot the courage to fight. Sounds like that. I thought you were the one who told Satoko to be brave over the phone. My words hurt Rika-chan's feelings. She clenches her lips and stays quiet for a while. If I talk to you, you might get killed too. I don't want to be killed, but if we don't do anything, you're going to get killed, right? We don't want a future without you either, Rika-chan. What? You said you don't want to lose us, but we don't want to lose you either. I welcome the turbulence. Besides, you know how powerful we can be together. I'm sure we can solve anything if we all get together. Not even our combined strength can solve this problem. You don't want to talk to us because you don't want to drag us into it, right? So you're trying to say that you want to die without talking to us. I guess that's what I'm saying. Don't think that being patient is the same as being brave. Remember the courage to fight. Talk to me anytime once you organize your feelings. We'll help you. You can count on us. Thank you. Your face looks sad. It's as if she appreciates my sympathy. I don't know why, but Rika-chan is troubled by something. It's a matter of survival for her. She can't even talk to us about it. She won't talk to me. How was it, Keiichi-kun? Is Rika-chan troubled by something? It doesn't happen very often. Satoko, this is going to sound strange, but is there any chance that someone is trying to take Rika-chan's life away? What? What the heck are you saying? Rika-chan is the symbol of this village. People worship her. No one is trying to kill her. What is it? What are you guys talking about? The more I talk to my friends, the stranger it seems that someone is trying to kill Rika-chan. Everyone is even more confused than I am. Rika-chan didn't talk to me about what's troubling her, but I'm sure there's something very serious going on with her. If she trusts us, I'm sure she'll talk to us soon. Let's believe everything she tells us if she opens up her heart. Okay? We all look at each other and nod. Is there another chapter? Is there a final chapter? Oh yeah, this is the final. Dude, the final chapter of this is just gonna be absolutely insane. Oh dude, we gotta save it. Oh my goodness, the final chapter of this is gonna be insane. Oh my goodness. Let's go to the tips. Oh, I don't want to go see all the tips. I want to see unread tips. I like the unread tips button. What do we got? What do we got going on? The Son of God promised that he would revive in 3 days. Sinful men guarded the grave to make sure he would not wake up, but that was foolish. He meant that his spirit and his lessons would revive, not his physical shell. Do not be afraid of physical death. If you make a great achievement, you will live again. You will surpass death and become immortal. A demon took the sun god to the cliff and told him to jump off. He claimed that if he was really the son of a god, a miracle would help him survive. He tried to challenge the Lord. The Lord challenges humans, but humans may not challenge the Lord. To challenge is to suspect. Suspicion will speak words of evil into your ears and will take you down. Do not doubt your own achievement. Do not doubt your own life. Do not doubt your contribution. Do not let others criticize your achievement. That is the same as doubting your own life. Umiti. Yeah, that's a fucking inspirational ass quote. Don't doubt your achievement. Don't doubt your life. Don't doubt your contribution. Don't let others criticize your achievement. That is the same as doubting your own life. I mean, it's cool. Interesting. I feel like we can like get into the story, but I also feel like the story is gonna ramp up. Like I feel like I'm not gonna be able to stop if I jump back in the story. I think for the sake of my episode length, I'm going to stop it here. But I do want to kind of talk a little bit because there's one thing that might be interesting. I don't think it's the case, but how cool would it be is if Hanyu was just like, no, if you leave the 58th year of the Showa era, I won't have anybody. And then, you know, she's just like stops Rika from breathing. How crazy would that be? What would you say? How would you stop that? I don't think that's how it's going to work, though. I think the Mountain Hounds and Takano are trying to kill her. But it would also make sense of why she doesn't remember, right? She doesn't remember because Hanyu erases her memory every time that she wakes up, because Hanyu just wants to be in this perpetual thing. And Hanyu's actually the hidden twist enemy, right? Like, Takano is like an enemy, but Hanyu is like the hidden twist enemy. I don't know. I just, you know, wouldn't that be, it would be crazy. It would be crazy. I say wouldn't that be crazy as if it would not be crazy when it would be. And if I call that, like, don't at me. I'm calling everything. Anyway. But, I don't know. I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Satoshi and Hanyu. Right? Satoshi and Hanyu are the only two things that are, like, weird now, besides us knowing everything else. I'm just saying. I feel like the friend group is pretty safe now. Although, like, I feel like Rena's, like, the poster child for this. Or was the poster child. Like, when I went into this, I remember only knowing one character, and that was Rena. And I knew her because of the famous knife scene at the very, very beginning. Very first episode, I think it happens. It was the only episode I ever watched. There was like a knife thing where she was like kind of evil a little bit. And so like ever since then I was like, oh man, I kind of want to watch this, or I kind of want to like keep up to date for this. But is it true that like maybe they just use her as an opening and then Rika's actually the main character? Well, Keiichi's the main character, but like I guess the mascot? I don't know. I gotta stop. I had to stop talking. I'm gonna if I try to find things to talk about, I'm just gonna like go on for days. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it. See you guys in the next one. Hopefully pretty soon. I'm trying to get back into the groove of things here. So I'll see. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys, and peace out.